Yo, what's good, y'all? DoseofDiallo back with another banger on the channel, and welcome back to the channel, y'all. Today, we are going to be talking about Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. We haven't done a discussion in a while, but this is more importantly on the state of the game and people leaving the game and what that could mean for the game and the problems with Sparking Zero and also the success with the game, because I believe that this game is like one of the better Dragon Ball Z games. It's like one of the top three, honestly. I'm pretty sure we know what the top three are. We don't really have to talk about them, but drop your top three in the comments and I will respond with my top three and we'll see if they match up. But Dragon Ball Sparking Zero has made so many changes to the game and brought so many old mechanics back as well. But there's problems with that more than there are good come outs of it. And I wanted to talk a little bit about all the stuff that I've seen and felt with the game, because I am going to keep playing this game. This game is like one of my favorite games, honestly. And this is still my 2024 game of the year. This is still my game of the year. And it's just basically going to be about what we want to see change in the community. And also, they dropped that feedback support survey, seeing if we wanted to have things change in the game, certain mechanics that we would like to see implemented, maps, whatnot. And I think that's going to be very helpful for the game. So all I can hope for is that they continue to do more things like that. But anyways, y'all, let's go ahead and get into today's video of Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. Alright, so we aren't just going to talk about bad things. We are going to be talking about the good things as well. It's going to be back and forth. We're going to start on a bad and then go to a good. Now, the bad things aren't all bad. They're just things that need to change with the game, that can change with the game, and that would help out with the community and keep the game more refreshing and less repetitive than it already is, I'll say. But that's just neither here or there for me. I do think the game has its moments when it's just always fresh. I like the game. I still think it's still a fresh game. I think all the mechanics are still fresh. I think people are still trying to figure out how to use those mechanics, work around them, and prevent certain mechanics. But we'll go ahead and get into what we're actually talking about. And I'm going to start with the bad, and it's going to be rage quitting. Rage quitting is a huge problem with Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. It's a huge problem with ranked and the way people are going about playing ranked and using the rage quit option. Rage quitting is an easy way out of a match, just so you don't even see the way it comes out. It's an either win or lose in a sense, because you're not either gaining anything nor are you losing anything, because your rank is staying just where it's at. I believe that in order to prevent certain things like that and to keep rage quitting from happening as much as it does, they should start putting like penalties on people that rage quit as much, timeouts, stuff like that, and also lowering the opponent's rank. If you rage quit, you should have your rank lowered. Not by a lot, but definitely by a considerable amount that you'll be able to see, and it'll progressively lower your rank. This would change a lot of Z ranks, S ranks, A ranks ranking, and it might put them back down, because most Z ranks, S ranks, and A ranks do rage quit. It's just a given. I've seen it happen on my screen, and I'm upset when it happens because I don't understand how are you in a ranked setting, but then you quit and you don't even finish out your whole match. It makes no sense to me. But I know that I also think that maybe banning certain people will be an also good option as well. I know that's harsh, but that's certain things that you got to do in order to make the game grow and also see a community shift for the game as well. But like I said, why are you even joining ranked and even like quitting matches ahead of time if you're not even that good? Why even bother getting on ranked? It makes no sense to me. But that's not too big of a, see, like I told you, that's like something easy to change. And it's like a huge problem, but it's something that can be easily changed without not doing too much harm to the game. But let's go ahead and move into the good, because I do have a good thing to talk about. I've seen some things online say that the music in Dragon Ball Sparking Zero isn't the best. And personally, that's something that I would disagree on, because I like the music in Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. I understand that a lot of the music that should be in the game, like older music from the older games, like Rage and Blast, Ultimate Tenkaichi, stuff like that. Songs like that should be in this game, and it's upsetting that it isn't, and I understand where people are coming from that, because a lot of people expected to hear the older songs that they remember from the older Tenkaichi games, since this is a new generation of Budokai. But personally, the songs that we have in this game, there's a lot of them that I like to listen to, like Dragon Spirit, Final Battle, there's Limit Breaker, I like Ultimate Impact, I also like, I think it's called Devil's Game. I like that one as well. There's a lot of songs that I don't really remember, but those are like the main ones that I usually cycle between and listen to whenever I am in certain fights. And I enjoy that they have you work for other music, because it wouldn't be great if just all the music was available to you, because there's different sparking music as well. You can change the way that your sparking music sounds, and I think that's good for the game as well if you want to switch up, like hearing certain different things, how you think the battle's gonna go whenever you hear that song, or whatever, or what you're expecting. It gives you that sense of adrenaline, and I get that from these songs. I enjoy hearing them whenever my characters are in these battles. It gives me the sense of urge to, like, let's see if I can push my skills further, stuff like that. Anime stuff. People like anime stuff, right? I mean, that's what the whole point of Dragon Ball Sparking Zero was, to make us feel like we're in the anime, and I feel like the music does justice. I do hope that they make like future packs for the game that are free, like music from Rage and Blast 2, Rage and Blast 1, Budokai 3, maybe like remixes of these songs. That would be good to have for like a free pack, but you never know. All we gotta do is just wait and see, and I'm very excited to wait and see, because they wouldn't just ask us for our feedback of the game and ask us if there's things that we would like to change and see change in the game with that survey. So I do believe that we will see certain things come to this game that's going to be free, and that things are going to be paid as well. And that's going to lead me into my next bad thing, because we did talk about a good. We're going to go back to another bad, so let's go ahead and move on to this next topic. So I have a small issue, if not a big issue, with the defense mechanics in this game. There was a lot of new mechanics that were brought into this new generation of Budokai, and there was a lot of mechanics that was brought back from the old generations of the Budokai games. And all we can do is, it's insane when we see it, because we expected to, a lot of people expected the old mechanics to be in this game, more the Budokai mechanics, not really Rage and Blast. A lot of people try to talk down on Rage and Blast, but I enjoy Rage and Blast's mechanics. I believe that's the game that had where you would vanish, and after a certain amount of vanishes, it would do an impact clash, and then you would press either square or triangle or whatever, and then knock your opponent off guard. I remember that from some game, and I'm feeling like it is Rage and Blast, but I'm not too sure. It's just drawing a fog, and it's been bothering me all day, because I do remember the game. And if someone can tell me what game it was, I would really appreciate it. Just drop it down in the comments. I would appreciate it, and it would help me relieve this brain fog in my head. But there are some tactics in this game that are too free to do, and that's from the defensive side. And what I mean by that is, whenever say if you're in a fight, right, and you're blocking and your opponent's blocking, and you start to see them do the Sonic Sway. That's because you can press circle, or what is it on Xbox? I don't know. I don't even know what y'all's button would be, but whatever. If on a PlayStation, if you press circle for the perception button, or click the stick in for the perception button, if you're playing on Classic, I believe, it does. You can do it while you're blocking, and that's not the best thing, honestly. If what that means is, like, while your opponent's blocking, they can keep pressing circle and keep getting Sonic Sways off without doing it with any skill. I thought Sonic Sway was a skill thing and not just something that you can do all the time. I have my fair share of when I do Sonic Sways, but that's literally from me pressing circle at the right time. I don't block and spam circle. That's insane. That's really but that's like a way I play. Not a lot of people play the way I play. And, that's a downside that it even has to be changed, because what if that was something that they meant to do? But then whenever you see it in action, you start to see it's not as entertaining as you thought it was. Now it's starting to make the game boring and less entertaining, and it makes you more frustrated than excited to be playing it. Now, there's also like, it'll also switch up more people's like strategical action with it too. People will start to like plan more with perception if you completely remove the fact that they can do it while blocking. That would help the game a lot, and it would also keep the repetitiveness less apparent. It wouldn't be something that you could see all the time. And then if Sonic Sways would be something more like, oh snap, he did a Sonic Sway, this dude's actually nice, and that's something that I rather enjoy than just being able to just do it 24/7. And there's also a problem with Vanish Wars. Whenever you're in a Vanish War with your opponent, you start to do the vanishing where you go back behind him, he goes behind you, you go behind him, he goes behind you, blah 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 blah. And the problem with that is that it lasts too long. And what I mean by that is that I believe that the reason that Vanish Wars are becoming boring and people don't like to see them is because it doesn't take enough ki, or that it doesn't do another action to keep it like to keep it less viewable, so you wouldn't see it as much in fights. That's what people would rather want from it. That's what I would want from it. I enjoy doing the vanishing because I'm getting better at it, and I appreciate that fact that I'm getting better at it. But a lot of people don't enjoy seeing it all the time because it's like something that you won't not see whenever you're in a fight. You're always going to have a Vanish War with your opponent, and it's going to be back and forth and back and forth continuously. It's going to drive you insane, and that's what sucks about all that. But what I think that they could do with it, and it brings back to my point earlier, if after a certain amount of seconds of your Vanish War and you're doing it, it goes into an impact clash, a random one, or like a one where you do like press a certain amount of buttons and you end up doing like clashes in the air, bouncing back and forth, something like that. Like, I think it was an Ultimate Tenkaichi, I can't remember as well. But also, that would help the game. And then, or if like they shorten the timing window, that would help as well. Shortening the timing window would be perfect for that. And it would give us an easier way to like not do them as much, because now we got to figure out the new timing window. And there's also certain defensive skills like After Image Strike, False Courage that last too long or cost less skill points than they should. I believe that if they want to fix that, they should up the skill point cost, lower the After Image Strike time frame, because I believe it lasts like 15 seconds. I believe it should last between like 5 to 8 seconds. That'd be perfect in a game change, because it also pushes people to change the way they play. And that's what we really need in this game, a sense of changing the way people are playing. There's a lot of characters online that, a lot of people online that play the same characters. Gogeta, Jiren, and Ultra Instinct Goku. But that's something that you would expect to see, but they're just insane. They're crazy to fight. But they did say that this game isn't supposed to be balanced, so that's something that I have to be like, alright, I respect that, it's whatever. And then you also have to think about full power, power up to the very limit, those type of skills as well. Those cost a least amount of points to me. I think they should cost way more, like False Courage, After Image Strike. They shouldn't cost as little as they do, because it also makes the fights end quicker, and people spam that endlessly, because it only takes like 3 skill points to do. That's something that also needs to change, and I'm hoping that we can see that as well, because then it'll lower the certain amount of characters that we see online that people just spam with and use power up to the very limit or full power with. That'd be helpful. Now, I just personally, like I said, I just think it should cost way more skill points, and also be like, yeah, just cost way more skill points, and also lower the time of certain defense skills like After Image Strike and False Courage. That would also help the game a lot. Let's go ahead and move on into our next topic. Then we'll tie it up with ultimate attacks, because I have a lot to talk about with ultimate attacks. But we're going to talk about another good that I have with the game, just to keep this video a good balance in between bias, right? The thing I love most with Dragon Ball Sparking Zero is the custom battles. I love this custom battles that you can create in Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. This mode literally gives you endless like potential, and that's what I love about it. I have made 2 custom battles so far, and do I like them? Yes. The second one better than the first one. The first one was my very first like time trying it out. Like I didn't even give no test run. I just went in, tried it out, seeing if I would enjoy like how it ran, the certain type of mechanics that it had, and I went with what it was. It's titled Vegito's Rival, and that was one of the first what ifs that I had in mind, and that's what I enjoy about this game. I can make whatever what ifs that I had in mind and put them into real life on this game and put them on display for other people to play. That is like phenomenal for Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, and that's what can really keep this game going for future generations. This is like something that the new Budokai series wished it had back in the day. And if it did, you know how many characters was in that game? The same amount that's in this game, I believe. If not less. I believe it was probably less. Maybe like by a couple 20 or whatever. But anyways, the fact that this game has something like where you can create these stories and create like certain type of dialogues, and there are some ones that I don't like whenever people be freaky with them, like y'all need to cut that out. But other than that, this mode is literally the best mode, and it gives you that sense of relief from rank mode, and that's what I enjoy about this game. It gives you something else to do other than just delving into rank, trying to get to Z, and also losing your insanity while doing so. When they did something like that and they're able to give these type of players and people that are even aspiring to be like certain type of storyboard directors, this is a good start because it's giving them an idea of how to, you know, make a story and how to keep it straightforward, how to build like a plot and how to make it all run together, because they also give you scenes to put in to make the game, well, to make the what if look more cohesive. Now, the only thing that I didn't like that they didn't put in was the fact that they don't talk, which is understandable. They shouldn't have lines to say, because then you would have to like, well, I don't know. I don't know if you can use like just preset lines that's in the game. That'd be interesting. But anyways, I do just love the fact that they have you choose through like these dialogues to put into your what if to make it more, to bring it more life, like I said before. And the only thing that I do not like about custom battles, that I know that they're going to fix, because so many people probably said it already, I don't like how they select things and group things in like terms of selecting dialogue for the story, or names, or switching between words and finding certain things that fit. It should be, they do have a filter option. Let's not like completely talk bad on it and not say that they didn't try. They do have a filter on it, but the filter isn't like that tight, so it only does like specific words. It's weird. So like, say if you're looking for a race, it'll pull up the race, but it's also weird to scroll through the whole race, because then like now the scrolling takes forever to get to the certain race that you want. I think it should be grouped together in a different way. Maybe like an easier way to just scroll down or something, or like group the actual word that you're looking for. To find the actual word would be better, or to find the actual like category that it's in, something like that. But the filter does help. That's my only gripe with it. And I also have a problem with how they label certain triggers and effects to work. Like, they're not that descriptive, but they are. It's like they just tell you what it does, and then you have to figure out how to like put it on your character and then try it out to see if it works. That's why they have that test run. So that's why I also can't completely talk bad on that mechanic, because that's why they give you test run to completely test it, see what's wrong with it, see to switch it up if you have to have it backwards or whatever. But it just sucks that it's like, that's what you have to do in order to find out if that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? But custom battles is something that blew my mind, and I'm happy that it blew my mind more for Dragon Ball Sparking Zero than I thought it was when it was first coming out. And I just can't wait to see what other what ifs I can come up with. Like right now I have my second one, Follow Universe 7. I am creating the follow-up to that as we speak, and it's looking to be one of my favorite ones already. I've been having a blast figuring out how to do certain things and figuring out what works and what doesn't work. And I'm also figuring out other things that I didn't know the first time around, the first couple times around. And it's becoming more and more fun, and it gives me that sense of relief and break from ranked whenever I don't want to just come on here and completely like get into these ranked battles or these player matches and just lose or find Jirens and Gogetas and just keep running into them and then fighting the same 4 people. Like, it gets tiring. And when you do your custom battles, you can create whatever you want. So you get to fight all the different type of characters and tell them to do whatever you want them to do. So let's go ahead and move back into the bad, because we do have some more stuff that we have to talk about. Let's go ahead and move on, y'all. It's time to talk about the ultimate attacks. Like I told y'all earlier, ultimate attacks are something that is problematic in this game, and this is a big problematic thing, because there are ultimate attacks that are unblockable, but there are ultimate attacks that should be unblockable. Hear me out on that. What I mean is that, say if you're fighting a Broly, his ultimate unblockable. You're fighting a Jiren, 100%, his ultimate unblockable. You're fighting a Gohan Super Saiyan 2, his ultimate unblockable. So on and so forth. Or like Final Explosion Vegito. Who's that? Final Explosion Vegeta. Margin Vegeta. His ultimate is unblockable, and so is Beerus's. I don't believe there's anybody else. Let me know if I'm missing one. Just drop it down in the comments. But with that being said, that is a huge problem for online whenever you're playing these certain characters, because if you're fighting a Gogeta Super Saiyan 4, God forbid that they make it unblockable. But why isn't his ultimate unblockable? If you're going to make characters like that ultimates, like their characters like that and their ultimates unblockable, just make Gogeta's unblockable, Vegito's, Gogeta regular Super Saiyan from Z. Who else do we have? Zamasu, his ultimate, why don't you make that unblockable? Stuff like that. It would be consistent, but it's not. And that's the problem with this. Everything's not consistent with the ultimate attacks, so just make them all blockable. That's what I believe would be the best fix for this, just making every ultimate blockable. It would change the way people are playing these type of characters, and then this would also prevent like spamming power up to the very limit, because that's a problem. Everybody spams power up to the very limit, and when you do that and you're playing these certain type of characters, you can do unlimited ki blasts. And then when you're doing these ki blast spams, you're constantly deflecting it. You can't block it because now you're about to eat an unblockable ultimate. It's upsetting. And I believe that the best fix with this, the best fix that they could do is just making them all blockable. That would be great. It would just force people to play differently, and we need that in this community. This game is amazing, and I believe that this game can go places, but they just have to change the way that it's being played. And it can. And all I can do is look forward to what Dragon Ball Sparking Zero has for us, and so on and so forth, whatever the game can provide for us, because we did do that survey, and the survey does mean something for the community. All in all, Sparking Zero is the best, if not the greatest Dragon Ball game that has ever come out past or post the Budokai series, because this is the new generation of This is the new generation of the Budokai series, and this has brought so many different mechanics, so many different styles, so many different characters, so many different stages, music, transformations, and like replayability, that this game could be the best, like literally the best Dragon Ball game of all time. It could like top every Dragon Ball game, and that's what we would want. But it's in the top close 3. Honestly, like I said in the beginning of the video, let me know let me know y'all's favorite games in the comments, your top 3 Dragon Ball games, because we could talk about that. But Dragon Ball Sparking Zero can proceed what it already is, and then also its successors, because this game is also going to have other games that come out after it. And there are also going to be other Dragon Ball Budokai games. Well, the new generation of Budokai. And I know I talked about some bad things, but I wouldn't call those bad things. I call those things that can change for the game and make it better than it already is. And that's what we would want for Dragon Ball Z. That's what we would want for Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, or any Dragon Ball game at all. We want to see anything that can come into this game and see if we can produce anything that can come out in this game. Like the custom battles that I told y'all. You can make anything with that. And these DLCs that are going to be coming in the future, Imagine those into your custom battles and you can create even more what ifs. This game is endless. It's crazy. There's some things that I didn't get to talk about in this video that I am upset about, like stages. I do love the stages, but I do wish we had more, and I hope that they add more in the packs that come out in the future DLCs. I did put that in my survey as well. In my survey, I put that we should have more stages. If not, they should be free or in a little DLC pack. I wouldn't mind that. And I'm just excited to be playing this. I'm excited to be sharing it with y'all, my thoughts, my opinions on Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, because I want the game to change, and I want it to succeed in the future, because I do see a future with this game. I do see it being a game of the year. Well, I do want it to be the game of the year this year, but I don't know. But I do see it being somebody's game of the year next year, or the year after that, because they just picked up on it. Anyways, thanks so much for watching. I really hope you guys enjoyed. And if you did, drop a like and subscribe. There is going to be more Dragon Ball Sparking Zero content that's coming out. Like I told y'all, I have a what if planned, and I do want y'all to see more of that. Stay safe and take care, y'all. Peace!